Welcome to Charts Today. My name's David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 8th of December, comes to you from London. And we start by looking at currencies. A lot of moves yesterday in sterling with Brexit concerns. We see the dollar actually had a big fall last week, which we talked about. We recovered a little bit yesterday, but we're falling away again. So that dollar weakness is still a theme. Euro strength, though, is the real one. And we are seeing targets into the we've seen the target as high as 160 or 158, but we're seeing targets some 1 to 1.5% higher this week. So still more gas in the tank for the euro. Sterling sitting at 133.48. A lot of people talking about it plummeting yesterday, but realistically, we recovered a lot of ground. So in the scheme of things, sterling is still trending up against the US dollar. Against the euro, we are seeing sterling weakness of the last several weeks. So this is just in line. We've already been bearish below the cloud, so no big surprises there. But a lot of volatility will occur around the Brexit talks, of course. Looking at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $19,000, holding that level just. Trend's still looking pretty good. We do have targets in both directions, but we are just holding the bullish trend there. The S&P 500 index was down slightly yesterday, still looking very bullish on all three charts with multiple upside targets now. So the market concerns are really fading away. The Nasdaq also looking higher. And we are just seeing markets really rising on vaccine euphoria. Even though the Dow was down 0.4% yesterday, we are still holding this 30,000 level, so that's quite significant too. The futures do look like they'll open slightly lower. We've got the S&P future down 0.2%, and the Nasdaq E-mini is flat down 0.03%. So we are just seeing markets pretty flat today. If we look at the volatility on the VIX, we see here that we are just rising a little bit, but again, sitting around the low 20s. There's no real cause for concern so far this year. Remembering this is my long-term, my medium-term, and my short-term view of the market. So this is weekly, daily, and 60-minute with the corresponding point and figure charts. The DAX in Germany is flat, up just 0.02%. The CAC Garant is down 0.07%. So markets really are very flat indeed. Japan was down slightly. The Hang Seng Index was down 0.7%. JD Health debuting there and up some 35% on their debut, but not enough to really change the shape of the Hang Seng. We're just starting to look a little bit bearish there. And in China, we saw the Shanghai Composite just struggling to really break this consolidation range. The Sensex in India pushed higher, up 0.57%. It's really just motoring now, so India looking very strong indeed. And the Aussie market was up slightly. Still has work to do to get to a new all-time high. Taking a look at gold, we're sitting at 1864, so we really are now motoring on that short-term chart, pushing all the way to that 1911 target. So the daily chart starting to come back into play. And silver up at 24.60, so looking strong there. And a new addition to my list is copper. I have an investment in a company mining copper, and so I'm starting to just follow the copper chart, and we're seeing here some 10% upside on that chart for the targets there, and 12% on the medium-term chart. So that's just a useful thing for me to track with my investments. US 10-year yields sitting up 0.94%. And if we look at the weekly chart, the energy mix now, we see oil just holding that trend on the 60-minute chart. We went neutral on crude this week, just really hard call for clients as we sit in this range, but the upside is still there, but at the moment just a hard call. WTI at 0.2% as well. US nat gas has been a pretty strong failure. We're still bearish below the cloud, up this morning some 2%, but really testing this 240 level that we saw back in July. So we've really fallen $1 in the last few months, really significant there. Even in the last several weeks we've seen that fall away, so that's quite key. Coal pushing higher. We're very this was our most bullish call for energy this week. Coal prices looking very strong indeed with multiple upside targets. Emissions this morning, we're nudging that €30 mark. On LinkedIn I posted that I felt that emissions would make a new all-time high above that 31 level pretty soon, and that would take out this year's highs. We're seeing UK gas up 0.65%. Dutch gas up 2%. Was looking pretty bearish. We're still below the cloud. We have got targets to 1490. They might be the new targets to play for, some 3% higher. Watch your OTC data there. And if we look at Gazprom at 1.3%. German power up 0.5%, just struggling to break this 43.40 level. Again, strong resistance just being challenged there, so that's quite key. Nordic power mixed this morning. On the cow, we're down 0.6%, just sinking lower there. Of course, the daily chart showing us a longer term negative backdrop. The quarterly contract is up 2.4% this morning. It's actually bouncing there a little bit, but again, a hard read with not much clear targets. Keep an eye on your 1 minute charts. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.